Hello everyone! Today I'll be doing a solo Kell's Fall Expert with Hunter. For my subclass, I'll be using two subclasses, Movius Quiver and Spectral Blades. For my kinetic, I'll be using Lost Signal. For my energy weapon, I'll be using a Arc Glaive with replenishing ages and attrition orbs, and a Void Glaive with disabling rounds and replenishing ages. For my heavy, I'll be using Anarchy. This is going to be the expert version, Kell's Fall, and yes, I am going to be mixing some subclasses and glaives. One will be using the blades, spectral blades. The next one will be using the tether. Well, basically the DPS version, not Deadfall. So I did some few tweaks for this run, and if you read my description below, there was some bug going on at the boss fight. And it's gonna be pretty hilarious, so I thought maybe I'll just show the footage of what happens when the game is bugged. And then later on, you can judge for yourself and comment below. What would you do if you were in that situation where you're going for a solo flawless, but then you get a bug? Alright, so we're going to be dealing with the Trickster. Yes, sometimes if you want to, you can just turn invisible, do the invisible dance with the Trickster, because this Trickster likes to do ballerina invis all over the area. Now, because I don't really feel like doing the invisible dance, because some of you, yes, you, I'm talking to you, comment in my video, yeah, this guy is annoying, yet you are invis. Well, joke's on you. I don't feel like going dancing. I'm just gonna wait here and let him just take all the steam off for him to turn invisible. Also, we are not using the chain of super transcendence, so of course the bungee I'm gonna be spamming invis for this video. Why not spam it? And of course, try my best to spam super when I'm using spectral blades. Now, there is some certain boss that I did not use spectral, where I did not use blades, because it didn't work out. That's one. Two, it just wasn't there for me. But it is good for the boss fight, I'm not gonna lie. So we are gonna just use our spectral blades. We're gonna follow him, do a visible dance, do the tangle dance. Do a little bit of tangle left and right. We got the scorns, a little bit envy. Then he's gonna disappear because he just realized that the hunter can go invisible. I ruined his fun with the invis dance. So now we're gonna go to the next area and we're gonna go through the puzzle. Now we're going to see this boss playing the piano just like in Final Fantasy X2. But we're going to ignore the shotgun puzzle but go through the jumping rooms. Also, we're going to be introduced of firepower. So for these mechanics, we have to lit up these fire. And usually we have to light up 2 or 3 of them. So I'm going to call them the firepower. And we're going to go break the rocks. No joke, by the way. You do need to break the rocks, go through the tunnel, so we get to go to the mirror room, or I like to call it the crystal room. Once you go to the crystal room, the ads are going to go aggressive, so you can clear the ads on your warlock or titan, but because I'm on invis, I'm going to go turn invisible and then just make my way past through them. I mean, why not? I mean, I'm not using transcendence, alright, for this build. So why not turn invisible and pass the ad? Then you're going to follow the firepower. And then make sure you light up the firepower. If you do see them, the spawns are RNG. And make sure you look around because sometimes there is a fire to light up. And make sure you light up 2 of them. And once you light up the power, the door will open. You will realize the power of fire. power of it makes the door open. Then we shoot some more rocks and go to the right side. No joke, by the way. I'm not joking over exaggerating. We do need to break the rocks to go to the next boss area. Once we do that, we're gonna go straight ahead and we're gonna have a raid banner. So for this, I am using the Arc Glaive with replenishing ages and attrition orbs. Yes, I do want to make a lot of orbs for this one. And I am using Anarchy and Lost Signal. Now I do have the Botan grenade launcher, but I decided not to use it for this video. So now I'm going to be using Lost Signal because everyone has it. You know, why not use it with Anarchy and the power of the Glaive. So we are going to take down a couple of champions. It's not really required to take down the champions. The reason why I'm taking it down is because we're going to get moats. And you need about 10 to get the empowerment. Alright, the empowerment, and then the timer will be gone. So right now I got 9. I need one more. So now all I need to do is just take down the unlocked champion and get more moats or defeat the boss gold bar and then spawn the green ads so I can get more moats. So once we are at the empowerment, now we're gonna go back to the normal world. So everyone's different. Now what you could do is take down the 2 ogres right away and then DPS the boss. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take my time and clear all these ads so we can do DPS at the boss a little bit more easier. I mean, that's just me. So if you're on Warlock or Titan, just take your time. You can take down the ogre as well for the first ogre. Now the second ogre, you must take him down last. That way you can do DPS spawn when the first encounter boss does appear. And yes, I am doing ballerina twirls. I mean, why not? I see barrier champions doing it. Why can't I do it? Isn't it just fantastic? Alright, so I am going to be taking down the ogre. Next, we're going to go and take down the second ogre. But like I said, I'm going to clear down all these ads. We do got the art captains. I'm gonna use replenishing ages. I know people will prefer overflow, but I don't like overflow for Kell's fall. You'll see what I mean later on. You're gonna see there will be moments where I almost got bungeed, but replenishing ages had, you know, it saved my life or bungee. So I am gonna clear these ads now. If you are on Warlock or Titan, yes, you can spam your transcendence. Yes, I know, but I want to spam my invis. Just want to have fun with this mini build. For the first boss, I will be using spectral blades so I can do a little bit more DPS for the first boss. But you can take your time here, and there's no time limit. There's really no rush when going for DPS for the final boss. Well, not final, but the first boss. Alright, so I'm going to try my best to clear the ads. I'm trying not to use Anarchy too much. I don't want to take down the ogre just yet. So once we take down the ogre, quickly go to the middle of the map. And my bad for this because I didn't clear down the corrupted captain on time. So make sure you use Anarchy, and we're going to go Merry-Go Death very soon. So I am going to throw a suppressing grenade so we can get weakened, do more damage. And now this is the game of Merry-Go Death. So I'm trying to do as much DPS as I can. Then later on I am going to be using my super. Trying to see if I can do as much as I can before the ads start to get out of control. And sometimes he likes to go near the ground, which is good. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So I got lucky over here. So I am going to be spamming my spectral blades and then pull back when the super is low. Once it's low, we're going to go Merry-Go Death. Like, remember Corrupted? Merry-Go Death? Yes, we're going to do similar strat for this boss fight. So make sure when you are using Anarchy, back away because the boss likes to stomp. All the bosses love to stomp. I don't know why. And also I like to remind you, the longer the DPS, the more ads are gonna be out of control a bit. The one thing that bothers me the most is this Trickster. Remember the Trickster? Yes, he is planting fake ammo brick bombs all over the map. So be very, very careful when going merry-go death. Because the Trickster, like I said, he likes to, you know, plant fake mines all over. And that's just something that I did not know on the normal version, because on the normal version we just take him down so fast, or if you're on a prismatic build for the hunter or warlock or titan, we just take down this boss really fast. But as you are taking a long time to do DPS for the boss fight, the Trickster just sometimes get in the way. And yes, my anarchy shots are not the best right now, but be aware of the Trickster. He is around the boss room. That is just something that I didn't notice until later on when I was doing a little bit more testing. I didn't know the Trickster likes to harass you when you are doing boss DPS 42 encounters. So basically, he is the Bungee Troll. Yes, he is the Bungee Troll, the Trickster. I mean, why is it called the Trickster? Jeez, I wonder why. And then if you look at the description below, it says the Trickster flees. So now it's going to be near at the boss, as you can see there, but I'm going to be switching my subclass to the Morpheus Quiver. Now the question is, does the Trickster harass you or troll you for the second boss encounter? Yes, it does. Sadly, it does, which is why it's best to take down the mini bosses quickly as possible. So now we're going to go through the second puzzle. So now we're going to make our way. And we're going to go to more jumping puzzles. It's going to be so fun. So make sure you break the rocks. We're going to go more of the jumping, so you can spam invis. Now on a warlock or titan, you would switch to a scout rifle to take down the ads, but we're not gonna do that for this run. You know, they have the transcendence for prismatic, we got our invis, so we're just going to turn invisible and pass all the snipers and raiders. Usually I stand here and then take down the snipers, but like I said, we're just going to pass them with the power of invis, and we do need to look for some firepower very soon, especially at the boss fight, which I will talk about that very soon. So once you pass the raiders, just go down this tunnel, and then we're going to go to more jumping puzzles. During this area, there's going to be more snipers, so make sure you just go straight. Then you're going to go at the bottom tunnel, and there is a script at the bottom. Sometimes they don't spawn, so if on warlock or titan, make sure you take down these scribs and be very cautious. And yes, my hunter did bounce off the edge. I'm not sure why. I'm not wearing stompies. Usually it happens on stompies, but for some reason it's happening for this footage. So we are going to go to the next area very soon. I'm just trying to climb up. And we're going to go and get the banner. Rally the banner. We're going to use our different super. It's going to be the same loadout for the final boss. It will be a void glaive. So now we're going to go and go aggressive. There is going to be a timer. So make sure you take down the boss as quickly as possible. for this run, I did get a little bad luck. I'm not really a fan of this encounter, especially using spectral blades where sometimes I trade off with the boss, which I don't like. That's the reason why I didn't use spectral blades, because I keep trading off the boss because these ads are shooting me, the knights are shooting me, and the one thing I notice is that this boss likes to immune himself a lot. So once we spam anarchy, we're gonna get the bungee out of here. So you need to light up 3 of the fire power, but because we're in the power of invis, we could take advantage of just going to the mirror, especially the timer is too low. So when running, especially on Hunter, just make sure you see any fire lit. If I do see a fire that needs to be light up for the power, then I will light it up. I did see one up ahead, so I thought, you know what, let me light it up. We do need the fire power. Then we're gonna break the mirror. So when you do break the mirror and go to the other world, then the timer is gone. Then when you go back to the mirror world or crystal world, then you're gonna reset the timer. It is RNG for this encounter, so luckily we do have 2 fire lids for this encounter for the normal room. Luckily I did light up the 3 of the fire. So now we're gonna go deal with the boss again, the mindbender. So during this area, I decided to just wait for my super. I'm gonna be saving my super for the next encounter. Now, if I was using spectral blades, I could use my super right now and then get my super back once I defeat the boss. But I decided not to switch to spectral blades. I mean, if you want to try it, go ahead. Trust me, it's a possibility you might get a trade-off with the boss. That was the problem for this encounter. I'm not sure why. It was just bizarre. So for some reason, the Trickster does spawn, but usually at the final phase. During this phase, the Trickster is not there. Thank the bungee. I mean, imagine if the Trickster was here. He'd be walking around, putting some mines all over. It just wouldn't be a fun experience. Now, during this area, you could just clear all the wizards and then take down the final boss. Now, I could have juggled DPS with the boss while taking down the wizards. I wasn't really paying attention too much of doing that, so that was a big mistake that I did for this run, because the boss has so much health and this is gonna take a while. See, I didn't want to use my anarchy a lot because I want to save it for the final boss. So when you do defeat this boss, you can go back to the mirror room. But I really didn't feel like going back to the mirror room. I don't know why. I just didn't want to bother myself going to farm more ammo or look for ammo. So I did went on top of the tree branch. So this may take a while. Like I said, I just didn't feel like using anarchy. Not too much. I want to save it for the final boss. Because once we defeat the boss, then we have to break the mirror. We have to go to the mirror room or the crystal room. And then we have to do DPS at the final phase. So far, so good. I mean, at least the boss is cooperating. I mean, if you're on Warlock or Titan, you could pop a healing riff. You could just spam your melee. You can just use your super if you are using a Roman super. So overall, this boss isn't really so bad. It's just Spectral Blades. The trade-off was kind of annoying. So I was just looking for ammo, so I'm gonna do a mini time skip. Now, if I remember, I could be wrong. The Trickster is also there to harass you. So first it's gonna be the spawn of the Trickster. If I'm mistaken. I could be wrong about this, so we're gonna find out together. So I didn't use my super yet, I waited, by the way, for the second spawn. And then the second spawn is the final boss. So make sure you use your super at the second spawn. So just be super cautious. Another thing I should have done is take down the ogre, but I was just too focused at the boss. That's one thing I don't like about this encounter is it likes to go immune. It's just like Birthplace of the Vile, but worse, more annoying, where he likes to immune himself and then the ads, and it's just a little bit annoying. But the good news is we'll defeat him sooner or later. Just need to be patient. The problem is the patient game and then looking at the timer. We do have enough time to get out of this crystal room, so that's the good news. So once we defeat the boss, then we're gonna go to the next area, and then it says there the Trickster flees. The Trickster at the final phase, he was around there. It's really hard to notice because he's so tiny. But the good news is we're gonna deal with the Trickster for the next encounter. So for this area, I could have switched to a scatter rifle to deal with the grins, or in other words, the bats up the tower, but I didn't do that so much for this footage. I just really wanted to try to not change my loadout too much, because if I switch my loadouts way too much, it'd just be a little bit, I mean, for casual players, it would just be confusing. Having different loadouts like DPS loadout, puzzles, and that will make it quicker, especially for speedrunners. I'm trying my best to not switch too much, but you can go ahead and switch if you prefer that. The only time I would have to switch a bunch of loadouts here and there is if the whole mission had a timer. Like for example, like 0 Hour or Whisper the Worm, especially 0 Hour. If this mission was like the exotic mission 0 Hour, where there's a tight timer, then of course I would have different loadouts to quickly switch. But for this exotic mission, there's no timer, mainly just going to the mirror room. And you're probably wondering what's going on here. So we are just going up to the stairs now. I did try turning invisible and going up to the stairs. It didn't really work out as I wanted to. See, the problem is it was hard for me to add control with this subclass unless I was on a prismatic. Then yes, I could control a bit better. That was the problem with going upstairs. So I do want to clear as much as I can. And then the good news for this encounter is there's no infinite enemies, There's no infinite ads, so when you take down the ad, that's it, they're gone for now. You don't have to deal with them during this boss fight. Okay, I am so confused, but these guys are walking in the sky. Does my eyes deceive me there? Did you guys see that? I don't know. I'm so speechless right now. This game is so bugged that I am so confused. Like right now, I am baffled. I'm trying to see if I can see the invisible walls of how the bungee did they walk through the air. Like, are they an airbender? Like, what's going on here? I'm so confused. Like, if we instant replay that moment right now, can someone explain to me how the bungee did they walk on air? Because I am so confused and speechless right now. What the bungee is going on? I mean, how am I supposed to defend this exotic mission saying it's the best ever? There's so many bugs, and you know what's the worst part? We're gonna deal with more bugs at the final boss, which I'll be talking about that very soon. When going to this encounter, everyone's different. You can go behind that tree. But for me, it just wasn't working with this subclass. So I decided to just use this wall near the stairs to take cover. For some reason, the boss likes to behave a little bit better when I'm standing on this spot-ish. I'm not sure why, but it works. So if it works, it works. It's weird, it's awkward, but it works. Alright, I do prefer standing behind that tree from the left side. It just wasn't working for my hunter. And yeah, Spectral Blades is not the best when dealing with a Trickster. You can see a perfect example. It's not that great. I mean, it's good. Spectral Blades is good, but there are certain bosses like this guy, for example, where Spectral Blades is just not going to be your best friend. And yes, they did buff Spectral Blades. Yes, I understand that. But just saying that Trickster is just really complicated when it just spams his invis everywhere. And then the weird part is he does this every 5 to 10 seconds. Like right now, you can attack him, and then when it turns blue, it's like, oh wait, you can't. He's turning invisible. See? And now we're gonna count how many seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 seconds. 9 to 10 seconds. Immune. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, 5 to 10 seconds he likes to turn invis. And he goes immune. Super annoying, super frustrating. Later on, I did manage to lose all my ammo, but I was getting my ammo back, so it didn't really matter. The part that really annoyed me was he was just walking around, dancing, turning invisible. I'm just here trying to play fair. I don't want to turn invisible, but this guy is kind of pushing the hunter to turn invisible as well. But yeah, he's gonna turn invisible back and forth. This is gonna take a while. And he likes to drop fake bricks too. Now imagine if he can drop a fake engram. Oh boy, wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be hilarious? How long would it take for me to take down the Trickster? Will everyone know about it? Okay, hopefully we'll take him down. That was just frustrating. Alright, so now we're gonna go to the boss fight. So I had some bugs for this boss fight. And you're gonna see the perfect example of why I didn't want to redo this. Perfect example. Now I'm gonna be telling you of what and what not to do. I try to figure out why I got bugged, and later on I did figure out. For now, maybe they're gonna fix it. But first things first, this is gonna be the final boss. I like to go to the back area, left side. And then we're going to clear down the raiders and the surrounding ads. Now the boss likes to shoot, and it takes about 2 hits for the boss to pretty much mess up your flawless run. Now, the funny thing about this boss is if you are in an invis build, just like Hollow Layer, he isn't really the smartest. He'll just keep shooting the arc in the same direction over and over. I have tested this out. And then once he says that he prepares to attack, that's when you need to break the mirror. Now, here's the biggest mistake I did for this run. The biggest mistake is I didn't clear enough ads, and it pretty much bugged out my run. I'm going to use Anarchy to take down the Overload Champion. Then I'm going to be taking down the Unstoppable Champion. I mean, isn't this great? I mean, you can go back here and then take down the Unstoppable Champion. And of course, you can take down the Raiders as well. Once you take down the Essence, once you take down the Unstoppable Champion, you should have around 9 Essence. I didn't pick all of them up, unfortunately. So I do need to take down the Gold Bar Scorns or the Pit Boss. And they're going to spawn 2 of the ads that we do need to take down to get the modes. Highly recommend to just take both of them down because they are a nuisance when trying to do DPS at the boss. So once we do collect the essence, then I'm going to turn invisible and we're going to break the mirror. We're going to break the mirror so we won't get one shot from the boss. Then we're going to DPS. So I'm going to do Anarchy and then use my Spectral Blades and do as much DPS as I can. And boy, it is cooking. This super is cooking. I was on red health, so I had to pull back. So once everything is good to go, and I could have done more DPS, now the mirror is available to break and we can go to the other room. Hopefully we can second phase the boss. You know, nothing will go wrong at all for this boss fight. Right? Anyone? I don't know, Blitz. I don't know, Blitz. I have a bad feeling about this. I was just trying to clear ads because I was having a lot of bad experience of bugs being stuck in a mirror room. I mean, wouldn't that just be fantastic? I mean, what if I do the solo flawless run, right? And then I clear all the ads and then the boss won't open the mirror portal. Wouldn't that upset you? I mean, what would you do if you did all this hard work, right? And you clear all the ads and the boss doesn't want to open the portal because it's bugged. I mean, wouldn't that be hilarious? Wouldn't that be fantastic? So I was just clearing all the ads. You know, I was kind of a little bit worried. I was getting paranoid because you're only supposed to clear probably 80% of the enemies, and then the boss opens the mirror portal. So I was getting a little nervous of the boss not doing what it's supposed to do, and I feel like soon I'm gonna get bungeed. You know, I was having bad vibes when I was doing this boss fight. But the good news is I did solo flawless off screen, but the video was too long, so I wanted to redo it for a faster run or a decent run. So I did pull back. I was just double checking, like, why is the boss not putting the portal mirror? I took down 80% of the enemies. Why is it not working? that was pretty much what was going on in my mind at the moment when I was doing this run. Then I saw this Scorn captain up there and I said, okay, maybe if I take down this Captain Scorn, maybe he will open the mirror portal. I was thinking in my mind, I said, oh my gosh, something's wrong with this run. I think I got bungeed. That's what I thought in my mind. I mean, everything was going so good. I mean, look how much damage I did for the boss. I mean, it was such a beautiful damage there. And it's bugged. Alright, it's bugged. Looks like I got bungeed. The game doesn't like me. It's official. Solo flawless ruined. The boss is bugged. Everything's bugged. The mirror is bugged. The portal is bugged. Should've went on the Titan Blitz. This wouldn't happen. I feel like Bungie doesn't like hunters. That's what happened here. They don't like hunters. They don't like warlocks. They like titans for some reason, but not hunters. So right now it's bugged and I am so confused. So I guess that means I have to Bungie myself just to get this done. Great. Perfect. Thanks, Bungie. Thanks for ruining my solo flawless. Not only made me look bad for this video, now I have to go and do this DPS boss again because it's not working. The mirror is not working. My goodness. I mean, imagine if I was live streaming this. This is basically what I would be talking about right now. What can I do? I just want to go to the mirror portal. That's all I want to do. Why can't I just go for my solo flawless? Now imagine there was an emblem for this. I would have just go Bungie right now. Alright, I'm gonna do a mini time skip. Alright, so let's just pretend that I didn't get bugged at the boss fight and I got my solo flawless. Alright, let's just pretend. So I was trying to figure out why I was getting bugged, and I got bugged at this boss fight 5 times in a row. Yes, 5 times. So 4 to 5 times. And I think I figured out why I was getting bugged, and I hope that's not the reason, and I hope Bungie fixes it. I hope it's a bug where they're gonna fix it very soon. I'm not sure, but from what I'm seeing and what I test out is before going to the mirror room, you need to clear as much ads as you can. Even though the boss says he's on his final stand or attack, I would say try your best, especially going for your solo. Try your best to clear as much as you can, even though the mirror is available to go. And of course, there is a time limit of hanging around in this area when the boss is preparing for an attack. So right now, I'm just clearing a bit more of the ads. I'm going to hang around in this room a little while. Usually I go to the mirror room. So right now, I'm just trying to clear as much as I can. I waited a little longer, and hopefully this method will work. Praying to the Bungie. So of course, there is going to be an overload champion. And I'm going to anarchy the Bungie this overload champion. And then of course take down this overload champion, because when you do take down the champions, you get 3 modes. So I am going to pull back and use anarchy again. Pull back again. See if I can use my finisher. Looks like I didn't do enough anarchy, so anarchy away again. Wouldn't that be fun? Isn't this fun? So I should have around 6 essence. So I am going to be using Lost Signal, take down some of the raiders. And yes, there is a timer, so make sure you clear down as much ads as you can. I am going to take down all of these ads as well, so I can collect the motes. And I'm going to take down the ads from in the middle of the map, so they won't mess up my DPS when I'm using my super. And take down the Grim, and then I am going to wait patiently, break the mirror, and then Bungie super this boss. Like, how dare you, boss? How dare you mess up my solo flawless because of a boss bugged? Gosh, I'm so angry that for some reason the power of my anger is making me do more DPS than I'm supposed to do. I mean, look at Spectral Blades. It is cooking. It is cooking fire. It is cooking fire. But seriously, okay, my anger did not give enough power for DPS for the boss. It's because I clear the ads, make sure they don't hurt my poor guardian to do DPS. It was just a mini joke. Alright, so I am gonna hang around in the crystal room just to make sure this bug doesn't mess me up. I was thinking in my mind that maybe I need to hang around in this mirror room a little longer, but I don't think that's the reason. I think is I'm supposed to clear a little bit more of the ads at the normal room when the boss is doing his final attack. And then you have to go to the mirror room. You can't really rush to to the mirror room. And I think it's bugged, in my honest opinion, because the last time when I rushed to the mirror room, I didn't get any bug problems. But for some reason now the boss fight is just awkward. Very awkward. So now we're gonna go back to the normal room. Hopefully we're not gonna have any weird bugs going on. Hopefully the boss will cooperate and, let me break the mirror so I can go to the crystal room. Right now I'm just using Lost Signal. Just making sure the boss is gonna cooperate. Really want this run to be done and over it. I usually don't like standing here. The reason why I was standing here was because of the boss bugs, and I just want to make sure everything goes smooth. So now there's no bug. Now it's working, so I'm assuming you must clear all the ads during the first phase. Try your best before going to the mirror room. For some reason, it just worked for me. I'm not sure why, but hey, it works. Try it out if it happens to you. So now I'm going to be collecting the emotes, and it's really awkward because the pit boss wasn't spawning at my side and they were at the opposite direction. So I am going to go and use Lost Signal because I noticed that I don't have any glaives and I kind of need a glaive to break the mirror when doing DPS of the boss. So now there is a pit boss that will spawn, and then we can clear down the ads and get more modes. So yes, I did have to use Anarchy. I mean, I had no choice, unfortunately. Anyway, I should be able to have 3 charges, armor charge, so I can get a bit of special. So right now I'm going to use Anarchy, or I'm going to use my finisher so I can get some special ammo. So yay, we got now 4 ammo bricks, 40 glaive, perfect. And then we need probably 1 more of the essence so we can do DPS at the boss. Alright, so now I'm going to be breaking the mirror. And then we're going to do DPS at the boss. First Anarchy, and then Spectral Blades. I'm gonna go in DPS with Spectral Blades, and then we can finally take him down. Finally, no bugs. Let's just pretend solo flawless. I didn't have a bug. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.